All right, guys. So I am pleased to announce our next person up on stage, Brian Weiss from TSportline. I'm sure you guys have heard of TSportline. Huge brand. Have you heard of TSportline? Okay, that's good. I mean, you should. They're awesome. If you haven't had a chance, they've got an awesome booth out. But Brian's going to come up here and talk about
Model Y upgrades.
Model Y upgrades. If you have a Model Y, you definitely want to hear this. TSportline, our title sponsor.
Thank you. Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming to Takeover again. This is our second year as a presenting sponsor. And what an amazing event out here. These guys have put on a phenomenal show. So, thank you. We're very excited to be part of the show. This is our main show every year. We come out and participate with the community of Tesla folks. So this is great. My presentation today is going to be talking about what I consider the top 10 upgrades for a Model Y. And a lot of what I talk about today applies to Model 3, Model S, Model X. So we'll mention that as we go through this. I am a Model Y owner. That's mine on the right there, so that's one of my daily drivers. But let's go ahead and dive in here, okay? Okay, so who is TSportline real quick? Founded in 2013. We develop, engineer, and manufacture Tesla upgrades, modifications, accessories exclusively. So our mission is simple, and it's to delight our customers and give them ways to enjoy their Tesla. And we are exclusively focused on Teslas. So real quick, these are my two Teslas. The company has several Teslas. We actually have two Ys, two 3s, two S's, and one X, but these are my two daily rides, so it's either a Model Y or the Model S. And we'll talk about everything that I've personally done on the Model Y here. So I broke this down into a couple of buckets. Hopefully you can see that. I can share this afterwards if anybody wants a copy as well. We'll put this on our YouTube channel too. But three groups here, I try to think what really makes sense, what's most important, what's most popular. And starting on the outside of the car, wheels and tires, caliper covers, and overland packages have been the most popular for us in the last 12 months. And I'll talk about these in detail. The middle column there, I made a note, is it performance related? Is it purely aesthetic? Or is there a functional aspect to it? And then on the right is it DIY friendly? Do you need a pro installation? And what to expect for costs. So wheels and tires are expensive. That's $3 signs. Caliper covers, inexpensive. Overlanding can be from mild to wild, and we'll go through that. But DIY friendly, everything up there is DIY friendly except for the lift kits on the Model Y. Those you need professional installation, you need to get in alignment. The middle section here is on the inside of the car. So far and away, number one upgrade and accessory is the swivel screen. The center screen is square to the car. We have a kit to allow you to rotate it left, right, up, down, make it a smooth rotation, a indexed rotation. Very popular, functional upgrade, DIY friendly, lower priced. Yokes have come on very strong once the yoke came out in the S and X. 3Y didn't want to be left out, so we have a yoke upgrade kit. Believe it or not, it's very DIY friendly. It's fairly easy to install. Our kit includes the tools that you need to do it. Middle range price. Add-on screens are extremely popular. So this is like infotainment. You have your center screen in the 3Y, but adding a supplemental infotainment screen right in the driver's view is extremely popular for us. And most commonly, people add that to get CarPlay, which means you can use Waze, you can stream your music, you have the screen right in front of your eyes. So it emulates what you have in S and X, but for the Y or for a 3. I would call that advanced DIY. You're going to have to be on your back underneath dashboards and stuff to plug it in. It's not super complicated, but it's also not super easy. Middle of the range on pricing. Then moving on the inside and outside, lighting is a huge upgrade opportunity. So from a lighting perspective, we have anything from simple upgrades to the trunk or the trunk light in the Model Y to the frunk, putting an LED strip in the frunk. Very easy, very inexpensive. Moving up from there, we have fog light upgrades, tail lights. We partner with Alpharex. We actually have the two owners of Alpharex in the crowd back there, so you can wave to them. But Alpharex tail lights, really popular for us. They look great. They perform better. It's a cool upgrade, and they're brighter than stock. And then we've recently introduced headlights, which you might think originally maybe that's just for looks, but the performance is phenomenally better than a stock headlight. So we use projector LEDs, which are very brighter than stock. They have a better cutoff line, like the beam pattern is more concentrated and more crisp. So it's a popular upgrade. Little more on the expensive side, can be DIY, but also popular for pro install. Carbon accents, again, from very mild, like a camera cover, all the way to a full body kit. Usually they're for aesthetics. There are some performance-oriented parts there, and pricing ranges from low to high, but it's mostly DIY stuff. And then PPF and wraps, extremely popular in Tesla land, Model Y. PPF from very basic high wear areas, DIY stuff, all the way to full protection. And PPF, if you don't know, it's paint protection film. It's more or less like a saran wrap that goes over the paint. So stone chips, scratches, scuffs, wear marks, you're protecting against all that. It's removable, replaceable. And then wraps would be a color wrap. If you want to change the color of your Tesla or personalize it, you can put a vinyl film, which is called a wrap, on it. All right, let's dig into some of these mods. So wheels and tires. This is my Model Y. I've been through obviously all kinds of wheels and tires, since that's one of the most common things we do. It can be overwhelming. We have, I would say, a couple hundred different wheels in the Model Y, at least well over 100 different wheels. And that seems overwhelming, but that's really different wheel diameters, widths, styles, and manufacturing types. So I tried to break this out. Where do you start? And the first thing I ask people is, what do you want to accomplish, or what are your interests? And usually it's one of these three aspects. I would say the most popular for us is downsizing. The interest in having a softer ride. Teslas come with low-profile tires, so if you want a sporty car, you're driving like a sports car, you're used to that. But a lot of people get a Tesla, and the ride is a little harder. Like, you can feel the road, and it's bumpy and harsh. That's from low-profile tires. So we make a downsize. You can go down to a 19-inch, down to an 18-inch. That gets you everything I listed there: a softer ride, much better pothole and curb protection. You have a taller sidewall. It's not a low-profile tire anymore. The replacement tires are less expensive, which is nice, and they're lighter weight wheels. So very typical for us in Model Y to sell an 18 or 19-inch wheel. Some considerations for Model Y: if you have a performance model, most aftermarket 18-inch wheels don't fit over the brake calipers, so our wheels are specifically designed to fit a Model Y performance with the brake calipers, so they bolt on. Moving in the middle, the aesthetics. This is a popular upgrade. People want sportier look, a little sportier fitment. They want to run wider tires, if that's your thing. 20-inch, 21-inch in that range. We have Flow Forged, which is a lower priced, very popular wheel, and then Fully Forged, which is a much higher end fully forged wheel, depending on your price range. And the fitment, meaning the factory wheels are kind of sunk in from an aero perspective. It's more efficient. We can do things like move the wheels out a little bit, make it look sportier, make a wider wheel. Generally, that's what people are after there. And then performance would be, depending on how you define performance, it could be racing type performance, it could be overlanding, it could be you want the performance in the snow, or even you're chasing aerodynamics. You want a stronger wheel. This gets a little nichier, but we serve all of that. Could be 18, 19, 20, 21 inch. We also have fully carbon fiber wheels for higher end stuff. Okay, wheels and tires, you might not realize, is very DIY friendly. We cater to that. So we offer a wheel and tire package. It ships from us. The wheels and tires assembled, mounted, TPMS is included, no touch mounting, OEM type balancing. They get to your house, you unpack them and bolt them on. You don't have to go to a tire shop. Very common. If you have basic skills, you can do this. If you don't have the tools, we have kits to do that. We've got YouTube videos that walk you through step by step. And most importantly, you can call us. Our customer service people help walk you through it. It's common because people with Teslas, like a Model Y, they want to swap their own wheels and tires for winter. They can do it themselves. Whenever, pick a Saturday, do it. They don't have to schedule it. So it's pretty common. So shopping wheels, there's a lot of wheels out there. We obviously have a lot of them. What my recommendation would be, stick with wheels that are specifically made for Teslas from a Tesla fitment perspective. So most importantly is the load rating. Teslas are heavy. The Model Y is a heavier spec. It's an XL tire. So you want to have a wheel that's rated for a Tesla, the torque, the weight, the proper fitment. And that's because you don't want to crack a wheel or have a failure like that. So stick with something that's made for a Tesla. Okay, moving on to some aesthetics. The caliper cover, really popular modification. If you don't have a performance Model Y, people love to have the look of the performance Model Y. So we have a caliper cover design that models itself right after the Tesla performance caliper. And this is just a bolt-on. It's a die-cast part. It's powder-coated. Simple, pull the wheel off, bolt this on. It fits right on the calipers. But you get the look for less. So rather than having a performance model, you can certainly look like you have it. And we offer these in red and yellow. Very, very popular for us. They come with TSportline stickers. We don't sell any counterfeit Tesla logos or anything like that, but people, make their own Tesla logos and put them on there. Okay, overlanding the Model Y. This is a personal passion of mine. I love this. This is how mine is set up. What do you want to do with your Model Y? Adventuring, overlanding, camping, family trips, make it look cool, all of the above. That's what I found in this, and we have a recipe depending how deep you want to go into this, but starting with the downsized wheels and all-terrain tires is really popular. Even if you're not into overlanding, the look is cool. If you're running into curbs and stuff and scraping up wheels, these tires and wheels are great because you can run into a curb and not damage the wheel, generally speaking. The ride is softer too. To maximize that, we have a lift kit. You can lift up the Y a little bit, increase the ground clearance. Keeping it stable, I'd recommend the sway bars to go with that as well. And then if you really are going off-road or overlanding or you want to have protection underneath, we have skid plates. These are bolt-on hydroformed aluminum plates that go underneath the Model Y. Take off the plastic panels, put on the aluminum panels. The bull bar, which is shown on both of these cars, is like a brush guard. If you're driving off-road, you're running into brush or bushes, or you want the look, or you want to mount lights on that, all of the above. That's a cool upgrade. We have something new, which you can't really see it on the black car, but they're called ditch lights. And this is from the off-road community. It's an LED pod light that mounts right on the base of the A-pillars, auxiliary lighting. So if you're off-road or overlanding, you have some auxiliary lighting, really cool stuff. And they call it ditch lights because typically you point them off into the ditches. You already have headlights to go forward, but you can't really see what's left or right. You turn these on and then it's like a 360 light in front of you. Cool stuff. Racks and tents. I think the Model Y is made for this. The mattress in the back, the tent on the top. It's, to me, a really cool option if you're into that thing. It's much better to open up a tent on the roof. It's dry, the bottom's flat, you have a nice mattress in it, rather than pitching a tent on the grass. Maybe it gets wet. It's not comfortable, but it's really cool stuff. Okay. The swivel screens, if you're not familiar, we're talking about the center screen in the Model Y. You can have it any way you want, left, right, movement, up, down movement. We have them where they're smooth rotating, or they rotate with detents. This has been validated. Tesla introduced this on the Model S and S and X. So if you want to have that, it's a relatively easy install, DIY. And then phone mounts. There are a lot of options, but the back of the center screen is flat. It's really convenient for mounting a phone mount. We have an articulating phone mount. There's a lot of phone mounts in the market. You can have it your way, but just a convenient place to set up your phone. In the case of ours, we have an optional charger that goes there. So I think that's probably one of the most popular modifications. Once you move your screen, mine is rotated a little bit. I don't often move it back and forth, but if you had a passenger and you're supercharging and the passenger wanted to watch something on the screen, you could rotate it. Okay, the yokes. It's interesting to me because on the Model S and X, we sell a round wheel to replace the yokes, and on the 3Y, we sell a yoke to replace the round wheels. It's purely up to what you want. Some people love it, some people don't. Me personally, I have a round wheel in my Plaid and a yoke in my Y. So I think I like it in the Y for some reason. I don't know if it's maybe the way the screen is set up. It's more natural for me in the Y than in the S. In the S, I tend to try to be doing more full lock rotating the wheel, and I prefer the round wheel. But this is a surprisingly easy upgrade. You can see the tools there. It comes with the tools. It's not difficult. What I would recommend if you're shopping for yokes, make sure you get one from a reputable company like us with the full structured core. So I would be careful buying, lower priced ones where maybe they've modified it and they have pop rivets on the core inside. Heated grips. So ours work with, if you have a heated steering wheel, ours will work with this as well. And then you can have it really any way you want. Leather wrapped with carbon fiber accents. Very easy to personalize this. Okay, infotainment screens, the add-on screens. I could probably talk for a couple of days up here on this. This segment of the market has really expanded over the last year. It's hard to even put this all in one slide, but depending, again, what you want. Do you want to just see information in front of you instead of turning your head to the right to the center screen? We could do that. On the upper right, that's called the Mini, and it's kind of a simple screen. It doesn't block the air conditioning, it doesn't block your view, but it gives you the speed and some other information right in front of you. And that's the lowest priced entry-level screen. Then upper left is a full Boogie CarPlay connected screen. It's a little bigger. It's going to impact some of the airflow, but it's the most popular because it enables CarPlay or Android Auto, which lets you very easily use Waze or your Google navigation, which is the number one thing. And number two is you can stream music. So like in my car, I get in, my iPhone, just boom, it connects. I don't have to touch anything. Automatically fires up CarPlay. I've got Waze. I have my music streaming. It's really convenient. It's very configurable too. If you're into that, you can arrange the screens however you want. You can go really deep. You can change color, styles. If you're a techie, there's a lot to do there, but you don't have to. It comes out of the box, do the basics, get it set up with CarPlay, and you can roll. On the lower left, that's what we call the Pro Dash, and that one has the best design aesthetics where it looks most OEM. It looks like an S Dash or an X Dash in the 3Y, but it doesn't have CarPlay. So if you're looking for the functions, you're going to have to move into the upper left area to get the CarPlay function. So the one on the lower left is going to be speed, tire pressure, some of the infotainment like that. And then on the lower right, I show the back seat of the Y, and that's a center screen for the back seat of the Y. Again, it's modeled after what comes in the S, but it's much more functional. You can stream videos, you can connect headsets for kids to listen to whatever they're watching or listening to. That's an extremely popular mod for us. It's very easy to install, more so than the front screens. And if you have kids or grandkids or you're in the back seat, it's really popular. They can stream videos, they have control of their air conditioning back there, and you can connect headsets to it. So back seat can be doing whatever they want to, listening to, watching in their headsets. The front seat can be listening to the radio or keeping quiet or whatever. So really, really common upgrades there. Okay, lighting upgrades. You've got a little collection of everything. You've got headlights upper left, taillights lower left, fog lights upper right. And one thing I want to note is we offer a trade-in. So what we'd end up doing is we'll buy back your stock taillights or stock headlights, and then we send them off through the collision market. They get refurbished and sold off through there. So they don't end up in the landfill or underneath the workbench in your garage, and you get a discount. So you get a rebate of whatever they're worth. It's a really popular option for us when we sell those. Lower right, I'm showing the Model Y cargo light. Big upgrade in how bright it is. So when you open the cargo gate in the back, this is a pretty easy thing to install, but really brightens up the cargo area. And then you can see the frunk light, which is an LED strip that goes around the frunk. Very easy to install. Generally speaking, these are not difficult installs. They can take some time. You have to take some panels off the inside of the car when you do taillights. You have to remove some fender liners and stuff to put the headlights in, but we offer a toolkit lower right for a DIY. Most people get that and they can do this themselves, or you can get this stuff professionally installed. Okay. Carbon fiber add-ons. There's, again, we could talk for a couple of days here. Anything from very basic, like camera covers, putting a carbon fiber camera cover, carbon fiber mirror covers, carbon fiber stock cover, stalks, like the stalks in the steering wheel, carbon fiber inserts on the steering wheel. It's kind of an endless list of aesthetic upgrades. And then there are more serious upgrades like wings or spoilers, aprons, which go on the front of the bottom of the bumper fascia, diffusers in the back. Some of them are for looks, some of them can help aerodynamics. It depends on what you're chasing. But this is common because the Teslas have some carbon fiber bits, like the Performance Model Y has a carbon fiber spoiler, and people want to add on to that look and accessorize. Generally, these are DIY friendly. We have videos for walking you through how to install these. A little bit of common sense. I mean, it's a clean car. The paint needs to be prepared for it. We have most of these attached with body tape, which is a 3M double-sided tape. Same thing Tesla factory uses on their spoilers and whatnot. So we have adhesion promoters, cleaners. It's really not that difficult to do this stuff if you have a little bit of patience. So very common DIY, but you can go from mild to wild. In our booth over there, if you stop by, we have all of these components on cars and on the table. So you stop by and check out what they look like. Okay, PPF and wraps, very popular again. And I bucketed this into two groups, DIY or pro. Generally speaking, like in the PPF, the paint protection film, the high wear kits, smaller pieces of PPF, like if you put PPF around the door handles, PPF on the door sills, PPF on the bumper in the back, so when you pull your suitcase out, you don't scratch it. Those are generally DIY friendly. The full PPF, if you're going to PPF the whole car, I would recommend professional installation. It's possible to do it yourself, but it's a challenge. You really have to spend a lot of time learning about how to do it properly, and then it takes some experience. I've done it myself, and the first time second time, third time, I've messed it up. It just takes a little experience to get there. It's doable, but my recommendation would be pro installation if you're doing a full PPF. Guys that do it every day have the right tools. They've got the skill sets to do it. They stand behind it if it fails. It's the way to go. It's the same with wraps. So we, on a vinyl, like something that looks a different color, we'll have accent kits, small things. You can like chrome delete your Model Y or your Model 3. On an older Model 3, they have chrome trim around the windows. We sell a chrome delete kit, which is basically vinyl wrap that you can carefully put over that chrome and make it black and make it look like a brand new Model 3. Those are DIY friendly. You can tackle those. A small piece of film is not real difficult. It's when it gets wider and you have to stretch it over curves and things, it gets more difficult. So full wrap, a full color change wrap would be a recommendation for professional install. But both of those are recommended. I'm at the point now where I put a PPF package on all my cars. Just the wear and tear, getting in and out, suitcases over the trunk, it's going to scratch it. Okay, one thing I want to cover is, are these modifications okay? Are they safe? Do they mess with my warranty? They're all good questions, and we can break down any one of these situations. I've got some basic best practices recommendations here. If you're going to modify the Tesla, I would recommend shopping for parts that are made for the Tesla, not necessarily generic parts that might fit. Working with companies that focus on Teslas is recommended. They do it every day. Stick with people that make stuff for Teslas, that have Teslas. Can you get support from a company you're buying parts from? Do they have a phone number? Do they have an address? Will they answer that stuff? Can you connect with them? Inevitably, with installs and aftermarket parts, sometimes you have issues or questions. You need to be able to communicate with who you're buying stuff from. So, following those basics, stick with good quality products, and I don't think you'll have any trouble. I did put some concerns down here, like wheels and tires. We talked about it. If you're running wheels that aren't at the right spec for a Tesla, it can be dangerous. They can crack. It can be dangerous. Steering wheels, like I said, if you buy an aftermarket steering wheel and it's modified but not a full frame underneath it, where it's put together with pop rivets or something, a little bit dangerous. Aero parts, if they're not installed right, can fly off. I'm always sensitive to stuff we're putting on the car. Make sure it's installed right so it doesn't fly off and become debris for the other people on the road. But that's it, guys. I want to open it up for questions. Before I do that, I will give our shameless plug that if you're interested in any of this, come on over to the TSportline booth, which is right by the entrance. Your best deal is going to be at the show. We are offering 15% off, free shipping, free installation. So if it's something we have here and you want it installed, your car's here, you get it at the cheapest price with no shipping and get it installed for you free. Definitely worth it. But come on by otherwise, regardless. We have a lot of our own cars there, which are fully done up with mods and personalization. It's great to look at, fun stuff. And you can pick up your Tesla Takeover bag if you guys haven't, or get your stamp. And if you have questions, I'll be over there all weekend. Or if we have time now, I could take some questions if anybody's got some. Yes?
Your first slide only listed 9 things, but the title is 10 top 10 things. Something new?
No, I probably consolidated it. I should have made that a prize for figuring that out. But I think that I consolidated 2 things onto one line, but you were paying attention, so that's an excellent audience member. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah, good question. Okay, so the question was, if I said DIY or pro, what does pro mean? Pro means you go to a shop that's qualified to do the installation. In our case, we have dealers throughout the country. And if you contacted us and say, hey, I live in this place, where should I go? Our customer service team can help point you to somebody that's either a dealer of our product, or we can help validate that it's a competent shot and looks like they're the right ones to do the job for you. Yeah. We do installations too. If you're in California, we have a facility in Van Nuys. We're in Atlanta, Georgia. If you're over there, you can come there. Yes. We've had people bring their cars, take road trips to us too. We welcome that. Okay, anything else, guys? Yes. Yes. I think the question was, can you hotspot the screens, the infotainment screens? The answer is yes. 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 All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. Come on by. Thank you.